Hi, my name's Jess Kostos and I'm a Unite Health presenter. Today I'm going to be bringing you a 45-minute intermediate to advanced Pilates class. So we're going to start in standing and then let's put our feet together and we're going to walk our toes out and our heels to join so our feet are hip width apart. Okay, so just softening through the knees here, hands by your side, just rolling your shoulders back a few times. Taking a few big breaths in and big breath out. All right, on the next one, we're going to set our shoulders nice and wide and relaxed, and we're going to go through our 5 key elements, okay? So starting with our head and neck, let's think about being long through the back of the neck, chins gently tucked in. Imagine I put a soft peach underneath that chin. Wide through the front of the collarbones here, hands by your side, soften through the ribs, unlock the knees, just rock your pelvis forward and back, and come back into your neutral spine here. All right. We're going to start in our foot series here. So we're going to start by dropping back into a squat, reaching your arms ahead of you, and then drive through the heels to come up tall. So inhale down, exhale up tall. I'm going to show you side on now. So dropping back into an imaginary chair, drive through the heels to come up tall. Inhale, exhale, come up. So we're going to add in some different elements to the movement here, just challenging a bit more through your coordination. On the next one, let's drop down into our heels. We're going to come up onto our toes, keeping our ankles parallel, lower the heels, and then come up tall. Good. So adding in our calf raise into the series. Good. Thinking about doing our back squat here. Okay, so I'm leaning slightly forward, imaginary chair behind me. All right, on the next one, we're progressing here. So we're dropping back, up onto our toes. We're going to reach both arms overhead. Imagine I'm holding a helium balloon and then lower that helium balloon. So it's really soft movement. Breathing in to reach up tall and then lower back down. Imagine there is a wall behind you. I'm reaching my arms up, touching my hands on that wall and then lowering back down. Really good. Once more in this direction, then we're going to reverse the direction. All right, so going up towards the ceiling, up onto your toes, reach forward, lower into a squat, lower the heels, and then standing up tall. Really good. Reaching up tall, chin tucked in, lower that helium balloon, lower the heels, and then up tall. A few more. Making sure we're breathing as we're going through the movement. Exhale up. Inhale. Good. Keep breathing. 2 more. 1. And last one. 2. Good. Shaking out through your legs here. I'm going to turn towards the front. And I'm going to have my feet wider than hip width, slightly turned out here. Okay? So we're going to go into a squat with spine twist. I'm going to imagine there's a wall behind me. I'm going to slide down that imaginary wall here, okay? So my head's back over my shoulders. If there's a wall behind me, my head, my shoulders, my hips are back against that wall. All right, prayer hands in front of us, okay? When we're ready, hips are facing forward. We're going to take a big breath in, lifting up through the rib cage, and as you exhale, you're going to twist through that spine to look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back to the center. So I want you to imagine your spine is a skewer. Twist on that skewer. Back to the center. And then over to the right. All right, hands are on our shoulders now. Okay, so we're going to target a different part of our thoracic spine with different hands. Big breath in. Breathing out over to the left, keeping the hips facing forward. Inhale back to the center and then exhale following through. Inhale back to the center, keeping your head over your shoulders. Try and keep your nose, your sternum aligned. Last one here. And then back to the center. Hands overhead. Let's imagine I'm holding a big fit ball above my head. It's balancing on my head. I'm going to twist over to the left. My hands are up higher, so I'm feeling a stretch higher in my thoracic spine here. Inhale and then exhale, following through. We're gonna add a breath in here. So exhale over to the side, inhale, exhale, see if you can go further. Back to the center, and then following through again. Let's add a breath, big breath in, breathing out, go further. And then back to the center. Last one, hands interlock behind your head. Relax your shoulders down, big breath in. Breathe out over to the left. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, follow through. Let's add in that extra breath to finish off. Following through, big breath in. Breathe out, go further. And then following through, big breath in. And exhale, follow through. Back to the center, up tall. Unlock your hands, just rolling your shoulders back. And then we're gonna go at the end of our mat here. Okay, so we're gonna go into a roll down into our shell stretch and end up on our hands and knees on the mat. Feet are hip width apart. When we're ready, rolling your shoulders back, big breath in. Breathing out, chin to chest, just peeling down really slowly into your roll down to your hands and your feet. Unlock the knees, and we're gonna walk your hands forward and then come back into your shell stretch. So reaching your arms ahead of you, hips back towards your heels. Just taking a few big breaths in and out. All right, coming up to our hands and knees here, we're gonna go into our leg pull in prone prep level 1, so our 4-point hovers. So setting ourselves up here, hands are shoulder width apart underneath your shoulders, your knees are hip width apart underneath your hips. Elbow creases facing inwards. So keeping the arms long, let's lower our chest down to the ground, shoulder blades tap at the back of your rib cage, and then push away so they come to the side of your rib cage and your armpits. So just a few like this for me. And then on the next one, I want you to push away so you feel your shoulder blades flat on your rib cage. Let's do a few pelvic tilts to come into our neutral, and then we're gonna tuck our toes here. When we're ready, inhale to prepare. Exhale, push through your fingertips, hover your knees just an inch off the mat. Holding here, inhale, lower back down. So we're gonna go up and down with the breath now. Exhale, hover, keeping our back flat. Inhale, lower back down. So we're gonna keep going with the breath here, and we're gonna add in some progressions. Okay, so if you find it too hard, you stay with the level that suits you best. All right, on the next one, we're gonna hold up a little bit longer. Holding here, just focus on breathing in and out. I'm gonna keep my back flat. Imagine I've got a tray of drinks on my back, and I'm gonna slide my left leg out on the ground, slide back in, slide my right leg back, slide back in. So I'm adding some swimming legs whilst I'm hovering in this position here. Notice how your body tries to rock from side to side, keeping your back flat. Not letting those drinks fall off your back. I'm going to do one more each side. And then have a quick rest. All right, progressing from here, we're going to extend our leg back and reach towards the wall behind us. So when we're ready, I'm going to hover up. I'm going to reach back and extend. Folding back in. Exhale, other leg, reach and extend. Follow back in. So I'm just going to keep alternating from side to side, bringing my attention through my body. So chin's tucked in, looking between my thumbs here. My knees are still just an inch off the mat. Pelvic floor, lower stomach engaged. Good, just a few more from side to side. 3, 2, and last one. Little rest here. Okay, adding our dynamic movement, we're gonna go into our full long plank here. So I'm gonna walk my hands, just come back down on the mat. I'm gonna walk my hands a whole hand's length forward ahead of me. Okay, my fingers are long and they're strong, pushing the ends of my fingertips into the mat. Okay, so shoulders strong. When we're ready, I'm gonna hover and I'm gonna push through the toes like I'm a rocket, push forward into my long plank, hover back, and then lower the knees. Exhale, hover, propel forward. Inhale, push through the hands to hover back, and then lower. So we're gonna do a few going forward and back with a rest. And then we're gonna take the rest out, okay? If you want a bit more of an extra challenge. Notice when I'm propelling forward here, I'm staying in a straight line from my toes to my head, keeping that neutral spine. All right, we're gonna get rid of our rest here. If you wanna progress with me, you're gonna hover forward, push through the hands, hover back. Forward like a rocket, hovering back. A few more forward and back here. Inhale back. Exhale forward, keeping my shoulders strong, pushing my hands into the mat, trying to push the mat ahead of me. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Holding here, just breathing in and out. Staying strong, tall on your toes, chins tucked in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hover back and just coming back into your shell stretch here. Just taking a few big breaths. Letting your heart rate come down. All right, we're gonna stay in this position here, but we're gonna come down to our elbows and work through our lower limbs, okay? So lowering yourself down into your elbow prop. Okay, same thing, set your shoulder blades, find your neutral spine. We're gonna go into our swimming level 4 legs only. It's gonna slide my left leg back, lift up, slide back in. Other side, slide back and lift up, then slide back in. So I'm reaching towards the wall behind me rather than towards the ceiling, okay? So I'm a long line from my head to my toe as I extend, and then sliding back in. Good. Exhale, extend. Inhale, return. All right, I'm gonna stay on my left side here. I'm gonna slide out, slide back in, staying out and in. 5 more than holding out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and holding out here. I'm gonna bend at the knee. I'm gonna go into a donkey kick here. So lower the knee, raise up with the toe, okay? So I want you to imagine there's a really low ceiling and you're tapping your toe onto the ceiling now. So you're extending from that hip, using your hip extensors, your bottom muscles to help extend through that hip and lift the toe up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, you can do it, 2, and last one, hold up, pulsing up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, coming back in. Other side to finish off. We're gonna slide out and slide in. Okay, so our swimming legs propped on our elbows here. Reaching to that wall behind us. Extending through that hip. Stay strong through your upper body. On the next one, extend back, bend at the knee, and you're gonna lower the knee, rise up with the foot. Okay, so keep that heel in towards your bottom. Imagine, like I said, there's a really low roof, you're tapping your toe onto the roof. Imagine there's a paint on the end of your toe and you're trying to put a little dot just above you. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, hold up, pulsing up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, back down. Come back into your shell stretch, really good job. Taking a few big breaths here. And then we might stretch out our glutes here in our pigeon stretch. So up to your hands and knees. Let's bring our left knee forward. We're gonna bring the foot across the body and then slide back down over that knee. and just wiggle around, finding the stretch, and then just lowering into the stretch here. Big breath in, breathing out, stretch further. All right, coming back up to your hands, tuck your back toe, push back up, and then other side. So knee forward, foot across the body, and then lowering back down, just wiggling around. Good, same thing, find that tight spot, hold here, big breath in, breathing out, stretch further. All right, back up onto your hands, tuck your toe, push back up, and then we're gonna go into our sitting position. Okay, so I'm sitting up tall here. All right, so feet and knees are hip width apart. Good, I'm gonna start with my hands behind my knees here. Let's start by balancing up tall on your sit bones here, long through the spine, heads back over your shoulders. Okay, so big breath in to prepare. Breathing out, we're gonna roll off your sit bones, forming a C shape with your lower back, okay? Holding here, and then we're gonna nod forward and then stack up tall. So there's 3 parts to the movement. So exhale back, stay in the C shape, nod forward, and then come up tall. So into our half roll up. So exhale back, nod forward and up tall. If you want to progress further, hands reaching ahead of you, keep them at shoulder height. You're going to exhale back, reach forward with the hands, and then stack up tall. Good. So the key here is to stay in that C shape, so keep your shoulders relaxed, and then stack up once your upper body is above your lower body. Okay, you can imagine you're holding a helium balloon, so hands really nice and soft, floating at shoulder height. Reach that balloon ahead of you. Let's add an overhead reach with that balloon. So you're gonna go exhale back, keep exhaling, raise it over your head, lower it, and then reach it forward. Exhale back, exhale, reach overhead, lower, and then forward. Progressing from here, we're gonna do 3 overhead reaches. 1, 2, and 3. Reaching forward. Okay, think on this one about your upper body. Keep your chin tucked in, watch that we're not poking out. Keep your chin tucked in for 3, 2, and 1. Reaching forward. And again, 3, 2, and 1. Reaching forward. All right, on the next one, we're gonna do 5. So holding back, exhale up, inhale lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do that one more time. When we're ready, exhale back, exhale overhead, inhale lower. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Reach forward with the hands and then stack up tall. Really good job. Let's just stretch out here. So feet and knees together. I'm gonna reach both hands and twist over my right shoulder. Left hand in front of my right knee, and I'm gonna look over my right shoulder. Holding here, take a few big breaths. And then over to the other side, looking over my left shoulder, pushing with my right hand into my left leg. One more big breath. Good, and then coming back into the middle here. All right, so we're gonna do 5 full roll-ups to end up on our back, okay? So I'm gonna have my legs long, sitting up tall, arms overhead, big breath in, and then breathing out, lower the hands. I'm gonna roll off my sit bones and really slowly try and articulate one bone at a time till you're lying flat on the mat. And then I'm gonna reach my arms overhead. Take a big breath in. Breathing out, arms follow through, chin to chest, peeling up off the mat, one bone at a time till we're sitting up tall again. You can imagine you're still holding that helium balloon, really slowly back. Good, this one's the second one. 3. Really slowly focus on that control. Making sure you're exhaling with the hard movement. This is the 4th one. Inhale, exhale, following through. And then the last one, we're going to finish lying on our back. All right, so exhale back down. Good. Let's just hug our knees into our chest here. Just rock from side to side first. And we're going to go into our scissors level 2 to start with. Okay? So when we're ready, all right, so starting in our Pilates rest position here. So long through the back of the neck, chin's tucked in, shoulders wide and relaxed, ribs down. Just rock your pelvis forward and back and come back into your neutral. Okay, pelvic floor, lower stomach on, one leg up to tabletop. Drawing deeper, other leg up to join. So we're starting in our double tabletop. When we're ready, exhale, tap one foot down onto the ground. Inhale, return. And then return. Good. So just alternating from side to side here. Focusing on keeping our hip bones level, keeping our pelvic floor and lower stomach muscles engaged. Scanning through your body as we're doing this, think about relaxing through your shoulders, keeping that chin gently tucked in. If you want to progress further from here, we're going to go into our scissors level 3, reciprocal leg movement. So as one comes up, the other one comes down. Let's focus on doing 3 taps on the breath in, and then 3 on the breath out. Keeping 90 degrees at the knees here. Good, keeping those shoulders relaxed. You can have your palms up towards the ceiling if that helps keep them relaxed. Let's change the speed now. Let's do 5 taps on the breath in and 5 on the breath out. 5 on the breath in and then 5 on the breath out. Good, keep at this speed for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep both legs at tabletop here. We're going to go into our one leg stretch here. Extending one leg out and then returning to tabletop. Really good. So imagine your foot's in cement, push out in that cement and then return. So really try and extend through that hip. Otherwise you might find you're a bit grippy through your hip flexors at the front of your hip. Exhale out, inhale, return. Exhale out, inhale, return. If you would like to progress a bit further from here, hands hover. We're going to reach our hands, come up into our abdo prep. Stay up in your abdo prep position with that one leg stretch. If you need the upper body support, hands behind your head, interlocking your fingers, thumbs down the back of your neck. Good, keep going here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Hug your knees into your chest and just rock from side to side. Okay, we're gonna go onto our side here. So rolling over and we're gonna prop ourselves up onto your elbow here. Okay, so we're gonna go into our side bend level 1. I've got both knees stacked and they're ahead of me in front of my body. My elbow is directly underneath my shoulder. I'm gonna just relax down and then I'm gonna push away from the mat. So I've got width through my collarbones and I'm feeling strong through the side of my shoulder here, okay? So hand on your top hip, just rock your pelvis forward and back, come back into your neutral, chin's tucked in, head's in line with your body. I'm going to hover my hips and then I'm going to use my glutes to push my knees, my hips forward. So I'm going to straight line from my shoulder to my knee and then I'm going to hover back down. Hover and push. So there's 2 parts to the movement and then coming back down. So lift, use those obliques and then you push with the glutes. Okay, if you get a sore neck while we're doing this exercise, you can look down at your elbow and just relax your neck completely like so. All right, I'm gonna add the arm in now. So I'm gonna reach my arm overhead as I hover, and then I'm gonna lower it by my side as I lower down. Exhale, Inhale. So make it one big movement, adding the movement together. Long line from my hand to my knee, and then lowering back down. 2 more, then we're holding up. 2. And we're holding up. Good. I'm going to reach my arm down by my side and then reach overhead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arm up towards the ceiling into a thread the needle. Look underneath my armpit, then up at my hand. Underneath my armpit, then up at my hand. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lowering back down. Okay, we're going to go into our full side bend now. If you find this too hard, you can go down onto your elbow if it's too much on your shoulder, or you can stay with your side bend level 1. Okay, so setting ourselves up here, both legs are stacked. I'm going to bring my top leg with my foot in front of the other foot. My right hand is ahead of me, okay? I'm pushing with my right hand as if I'm pushing the mat away from me. I'll know that my knees and my legs are set in the right position if I extend my left hand and my hand is resting on top of my knee. All right, when we're ready, I'm going to push through this right hand and I'm going to push through my feet and push into a full side bend here. Straight line from my hand to my toes. To return, I push through my supportive hand. Okay, so inhale to repair. Exhale, squeeze the legs together as you reach with that top hand in a long line. And then push with that supportive hand down. Good. We're going to do a few going up and down. Then we're going to add our twist. 1 more. And then down. On the next one, we're going to hold up here. We're going to add our twist. So I'm going to reach with my top hand, reach towards my opposite foot, and then return, and then lower. Let's do a few more adding in that twist. So reach towards the opposite foot, keeping your legs and your back long, and then return. 2 more. Pivoting on that supportive hand. And then last one. And then back down into your mermaid legs. And then let's just stretch out through the side of your body. Okay. Before we go into the other side, let's do a bit of glute work. So I'm going to lie onto my back here. All right, we're going to go into our shoulder bridge. So lying on your back, feet and knees are hip width apart, heels in towards your bottom, your hands are by your side. Shoulder bridge level 1, let's take a big breath in. And then breathing out, flatten your back into the mat and slowly peel up 1 vertebrae at a time till you're at the top of your shoulder bridge. Big breath in. And then breathing out, slowly peeling back down. Big breath in. And breathing out, slowly peeling up. Thinking about your spine being a string of pearls, I want you to lift 1 pearl up off at a time. For a straight line from your shoulders to your knees, and then you're going to lower the pearls 1 at a time back to the mat. 2 more, then we're holding up at the top here. And then second one. Holding up at the top here. I'm going to put my hands onto my hips just to give a bit of feedback. I'm going to bring 1 leg up into tabletop here. Lower it. And then peel back down. So our shoulder bridge level 2, peeling up to the top, 1 leg up to tabletop, keeping your hips level, lower, and then peel back down. I'm going to do once more each side, then I'm going to stay up at the top of my shoulder bridge. All right, and the next one, progressing here, 1 leg up to tabletop and lower. We're into our walking bridge here. Shoulder bridge level 3. Really good. You can put your hands here as feedback if you like to check that your hips are staying level. Good, alternating from side to side. 6 more alternating from side to side, and then I'm going to keep 1 leg up into the air. 3, 4, 5, 6, holding up in the air, holding, just focusing on breathing in and out here. Thinking about that, keeping the hips level, that glute activation, that hip extension through your left hip. You can push your hands down into the mat if you like to get a bit more posterior oblique sling activation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering back down, other leg up to tabletop. Holding here, just focusing on breathing in and out, keeping those hips level here. Good, holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Foot back down, peeling back down, and then just hugging your knees into your chest. Okay, feet back down. I'm going to come up onto my side. I'm going to go into our other side with our side bend. Okay, so propping myself up onto my elbow here. So again, like the other side, my elbow is directly beneath my shoulder. I'm going to slouch and then push away so I'm really strong through my chest here. My knees are stacked and my knees are slightly ahead of me. My head is in line with my body. Okay, you can rock your pelvis forward and back, come back into your neutral here. When you're ready, you're going to hover your hips up and then you're going to push forward through the hips. You're in a straight line from your knees to your shoulder and then lower back down. Good, keeping that neutral spine so your hips are like a hinge here. Let's add in the top arm. So we're going to reach the arm from a long line to from your knee to your hand and then hover the hand back down as we lower. So it's a simultaneous movement of lifting and pushing your hips forward, raising that arm up and over. Good, and if you do get a sore neck, you can just drop your head down towards the ground. That's completely fine. Exhale up and over. Inhale back down. All right, a few more here. Then we're going to add in our thread the needle or our twist. All right, holding up here, I'm going to sweep my arm down by my side, then up overhead. Down by my side, up overhead. Good, 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower, come back up. I'm going to go into a twist, so reach my hand underneath my armpit, look at my hand, and then reach up towards the ceiling. Under the armpit, up towards the ceiling. Really good job. Keeping my shoulders strong. Let's do 3 more here. 3, 2, and 1. And then lowering back down. Okay, we're going to go into our full side bend now. So I'm going to have my hand ahead of me. On the mat, both knees are stacked, and I'm going to bring my top foot up and place it in front of the bottom foot. Okay, so in terms of how far you have your feet away from you, you'll know if it's in the right position if your top hand is resting on top of your knee. My supportive hand, my left hand, is flat onto the mat. I'm going to be pushing that way with my hand to keep strong. All right, so when we're ready, I'm going to hover and push through the toes, push in a straight line from my toes to my hands, and then going back down. Exhale up and over. Inhale, lowering back down. Good, keep going. Inhale back down. Really good job. Few more up and over. And then we're going to add in our spine twist into the movement. 3, 2, and 1. Holding here, I'm going to reach towards my opposite foot, extend, and then lower back down. Let's do a few more like that. Push through the toes, long line, reach towards the opposite foot, look at your hand, and then lower back down. 2 more. Reach. And last one. Stay really strong. Reach. And then lower back down, and then into your mermaid stretch here. Taking a few big breaths here. Really good job. And then let's go onto our hands and knees here. We're just going to stretch out a little bit through our spine. Okay, so our knees are going to be hit width apart underneath your hips. Your hands are going to be shoulder width apart underneath your shoulders. Okay, so into our cat stretch here. When you're ready, chin to chest, let the rest of the spine follow till you're looking between your thighs, pushing with your hand, holding here, and then tailbone up towards the ceiling, looking forward, sinking through the chest. Good, chin to chest, following through, pushing up. Big breath in, and then breathing out, tailbone up, looking forward. Good, chin to chest, holding at the top of your cat stretch here. And then we're gonna add in a tail wag. So keeping your hips still, just keeping your shoulders still, your hips are twisting from side to side. And then we're gonna make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're going to a big twist and keep going from side to side, going through your cat stretch, just mobilizing through your spine. All right. We're gonna finish up here with some exercises lying on our stomach, okay? So we're gonna go into our breaststroke prep series here. Okay, so lying face down on your mat, and you're gonna have your hands by your side, okay? So, all right, so chin's tucked in. We're gonna be long through the back of the neck. Imagine if you had a ponytail, I'm pulling long through the back of the hair here. Chin's tucked in, my nose is resting on the mat, shoulders nice and wide and relaxed. I'm gonna get you to find your neutral spine here. So rock your pelvis forward and back. And then think about lengthening through that tailbone so you've got that neutral spine and length through that spine. Okay, when you're ready, we're gonna widen through the front of the chest and set our shoulders flat on the shoulder blade, on the rib cage. And then we're gonna hover our hands up, palms facing inwards. I'm going to pulse our hands in and out from the side of our body. Okay, so let's pulse here. 5 pulses on the breath in, 5 on the breath out. So we're working our postural muscles here. My head's still down on the mat, keeping that neutral spine. Let's keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. All right, on the next one, we're going to add the head into the movement here. Okay, so keeping long through the back of the neck, set our shoulders, hover our hands, palms facing inwards, hovering our forehead off the mat. So I'm looking down towards the mat, long through the back of the neck. I'm going to pulse my hands in and out from the side of my body here. 5 pulses on the breath in, and then 5 on the breath out. Keep reaching my fingertips towards my toes as I'm pulsing in and out. Good, keep pulsing, keep going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back down. All right, on the next set, we're going to add in a snow angel into the movement here. Okay, so when you're ready, you're gonna hover your shoulders, hover your hands, hover your forehead. Okay, I'm gonna rotate my hands so my palms are down towards the mat. I'm going to reach my arms out to the side and then lower into a snow angel movement here. Okay, notice how I'm keeping my chin tucked in. I'm watching that I'm not looking ahead of me. Keeping that spine nice and long. Good, keep going here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then lower back down. Let's put our hands either side of your shoulders, pushing back up. And then let's go into our shell stretch here. Taking a few big breaths into our rib cage, into our lower back. Good, and then let's stretch through our upper body here. So just rolling your shoulders back. Let's interlock our fingers behind our back, Just open up through the front of the chest and just bring your head from side to side. Good, and then grab your hands in front of you, round the upper back. Just taking a few big breaths in between your shoulder blades. Let your shoulder blades slide towards your armpits. And then fold your hands up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale. Hands by your side, and then we're going to finish with 3 big power breaths here. All right, so when you're ready, big breath in, arms up. Breathing out, arms down. 2 more, big breath in. Exhale, arms down. And last one, big breath in. And then exhale. Good job. Thank you so much for joining me today.